Glad you can make it. He's Neil Everett. I'm Stan Barrett. There's been all that talk about the Lakers adding an all-star forward from another team while they were waiting for the one they already have to get back on the court.
He's back. LeBron James and his injured groin back after 17 games on the shelf or the bench. He had 5 points, 3 turnovers in 17 minutes in the first half. We move ahead to the fourth quarter. Step back, Bobby Jack. James along 2. He went 9 of 22 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. And Lance Stevenson, what's his nickname again?
Born Ready.
Born Ready. Born Ready, and he hits that, and then he goes old Pat Travers like Born Under a Bad Sign with the air guitar. And then goes old Jimi Hendrix, Wind Cries Mary with the guitar right there. Born Ready he was. Lance Stevenson needs to write a song called Born Ready. Oh! There you go. All right, Lakers lead by 6. Rondo to Ingram. Shoots the 3, misses. James, the offensive rebound, puts it back in. LeBron James, 14 rebounds. That was his only offensive board. 8-point lead, Magic Johnson. AC Green, McMinnville, Oregon State in the house. Lou Williams drives, kicks it out to Tobias Harris, friend of the program. Steve Ballmer, be careful. Don't pull a muscle. But you got to love Ballmer's passion. All right, we're tied at 112 because that tied it up right there in the final half minute. 10 seconds to go, Lakers ball. James drives, strip. He seems confidence out in the Clippers, but it's going to go to replay. Videotape tells the truth. Harris strips James of the ball, and it's off James's hand. And he says, man, do you know who I am? What were you looking that I was looking? All right, well, listen, what we're looking at is overtime. He's played 35 minutes in regulation. He's ended up playing 40 minutes, 26 seconds. Third most minutes he's played this season. Boy, that's a West LA fadeaway. Lakers lead by 2. Still in overtime, because otherwise it'd be a non-chronological highlight. James to Stevenson. The layup gets fouled. Do a little dance. Shoot a little free throw. But look at the shot to Boban's face right there. Doc Rivers was livid that that Boban got the foul call right there when it was Stevenson's elbow that caused the harm. That guy is crazy. All right, listen, there's 3 seconds left, 3-point game. Look at Rondo. He's going to throw it off Boban. But then wait, Lou Williams has it. Lou can hit a 3 and tie it. Rondo blocks it, but look at he's hurt afterwards. So Rondo, I'm not sure what he was thinking. Luke Walton and Doc Rivers were kind of laughing about it afterwards. LeBron James said he was about 80%. And 80% was enough for the Lakers.
I'm not feeling, particularly great right now. I'm definitely ecstatic about being back out there with my guys and getting a great road win versus a team that we're, kind of, climbing, in the playoff race. But, after being out 5 weeks, I'm feeling it right now. I wish I could click my shoes together and be home right now in my bed.
He kind of got to where he wanted. He created in the offense. Defensively, he was down in a stance, getting us stops, rebounds. So he looked fine to me. There's more he can do, but he looked healthy.
He's the greatest player on the planet. So he brings his superpowers.
Was that tongue-in-cheek or was he serious? LeBron James scored 13 of his team-high 24 in the fourth quarter in overtime, created a team-high 7 uncontested looks. Lakers shot 9 of 18 off his passes. He scored or assisted on 11 of the team's 25 transition points.
All right, Sixers taking on the Warriors in Oakland. Warriors back home after sweeping a 5-game road trip. Their overall win streak at 11 games. Home debut for DeMarcus Cousins. He got a nice ovation. And then he had to deal with Joel Embiid. Cousins gets there. He only had 7 points, though, on 3 for 10 shooting. Misses the 3 here. Embiid does, and Cousins up ahead of the play. Gets a dunk. And then the stare down on Embiid, and Embiid not impressed. Then Embiid responds. Oh! 26 points and 20 boards.
Whoa.
For Embiid, and some respect from Cousins on that one. Oh. Steph Curry, without Klay Thompson, had to do all the splashing on his own. 3 and the foul there. And then later in the first, hits a 3 and then points at Reggie Miller, just like you used to do it. Warriors up 4 in the second. Curry, 23 points in the first half, 6 for 7 on threes. Warriors up by 7 at halftime, so it's all good. Or is it? Sixers down 2 in the third. Embiid over Cousins. Tie game. Embiid misses here, but Ben Simmons, the putback dunk. Remember, he is 6'10". Sometimes people forget about that because he handles the ball so well. 26 points on 13 shots for Simmons. Sixers take the lead. And then Jimmy Butler. Sixers with a 36-17 run to close the third, and Draymond Green trying to pump up his teammates after that third quarter, but wouldn't get any better. 2 minutes left. The Warriors are down 7. So a Curry 3 would help. But Simmons, remember, he's 6'10". Gets a hand on that one. Curry 10 of 18 from 3. He had 41, but just not enough. Mike Muscala with the block there. Sixers clamped down on defense. Held the Warriors to 104 points. They put 113 on the board. The streak is over.
It's a fantastic win. This group, myself included, we have not beaten Golden State. To do it on the road, to do it in front of their fans against a team that is this good and had won that many games in a row, it's a good night.
We weren't there mentally. We weren't there competitively, and we got what we deserved. I thought they totally outplayed us in the second half. Should have had a much bigger lead at halftime, but we got really careless. And then they took it to us in the second half. We weren't ready. We didn't respond with competitive desire and intelligence and execution. So we got what we deserved.
That's what we'll need from you for the rest of the show. Competitive desire, intelligence, and execution.
Ooh.
Warriors
intelligence, no chance.
Warriors 11-game win streak done. 76ers shut them down. Holding Golden State just 104 points. They're fewer since Christmas Day, and that's a significant number for the Warriors because they're now 0-9 this season when they're held to fewer than 105 points. On our last show, Neil, you remember I said Dennis Smith Jr. had that triple-double. Mavs are going to keep him? I was wrong. On his way to New York and to deal with the Knicks, here's how the trade breaks down. Mavericks get Kristaps Porzingis, 3 other players from the Knicks in exchange for a package that includes Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews, and DeAndre Jordan, who both have expiring contracts, along with 2 future first-round picks. Looks like the Knicks are trying to build for the future.
Time, it became clear to us that Kristaps was not completely on board with the plan that we had laid out. He is a great player, but this morning in a meeting, he confirmed that he no longer wanted to be a Knick. Given the uncertainty of going into free agency with a player who feels that way, we decided to make this trade. It's just a feeling you get as you're watching how frequently he comes to practices, how long he's around the gym, different things that he's doing, and we just started to get a feel that this might be moving in a different direction.
Porzingis' skill set should look familiar to Mavs fans. He's just one of 3 different players aged 22 or younger in NBA history to make 100 threes and block 100 shots in a season. Dirk Nowitzki, the first player to do it back in the 2001 season, and Karl Anthony Towns has since done it twice. Nowitzki, happy to have Porzingis on the way to Dallas.
It's always tough to lose teammates in the middle of the year, but it's part of the gig. And I think if you have a chance to add a franchise caliber player like Porzingis, you just got to go for it.
Are you excited to have him as a teammate?
Yeah, for sure. Like I say, he's such an amazing player, and this could be a very good thing.
Have you communicated with Porzingis since the trade?
Yeah.
Was he happy?
Yeah, he was.
What did you say to each other?
It keeps between us.
One guy needs to charge his phone. Porzingis will join Luka Doncic as the Mavericks' new cornerstones. Both of them are among the highest drafted international players in NBA history. Porzingis went 4th to the Knicks in 2015, and Doncic, of course, went 3rd in last year's draft. They'll hope to take the baton from Nowitzki. Mavericks took him 9th overall out of Germany in 1998. The Raptors, top 2 teams in the East, going head-to-head. With a win Thursday, the Bucks would take 3 of 4 in the season series and clinch the tiebreaker over the Raptors. So this is big. Raptors have won 10 straight at home. Their last home loss to Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo getting there. And nobody wants a piece of that. They'll just stand around and watch in the lane. Second quarter, just too much speed for them to stop him in transition. He had 13 of his 19 in the first half. He also had 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Let's go to the third quarter now. Bucks are up 15. Antetokounmpo working on Kawhi Leonard. Leonard's a great defender, but that's just too much for him to handle one-on-one. Later, Eric Bledsoe transition 3 to put the Bucks up 22. I mean, everybody chipped in from Milwaukee. Bledsoe had 14. Next possession, Bledsoe misses, but DJ Wilson getting in on the act. He had a career-high 16. To the fourth, Raptors down 11, trying to come back. Pascal Siakam. Tough shot with Antetokounmpo on him, but he gets it to fall. Next possession, Siakam says, give me that. And you take that. Off the DeLon Wright miss. Siakam with 28 in the game. Just over 5 minutes ago, the Raptors down 10, trying to rally. Leonard got that to go, but wasn't good for Toronto in the fourth. They shot 7 for 28 in the quarter. Leonard was 16. With a minute to go, Malcolm Brogdon, one of 7 Bucks in double figures. Statement win for Milwaukee as they take it 105-92 on Toronto's floor. Bucks now an NBA best 37-13 this season. They lead the Raptors by a game and a half in the East. Third time in franchise history that the Bucks have had the best record in the NBA through 50 games. Each of the previous 2 seasons ended in a trip to the NBA Finals. There are only 2 finals trips in franchise history.
Best thing I heard today, the NBA channel on my satellite radio. Justin Termini and Eddie Johnson, they go at it, man. And this take on the Porzingis trade.
There's only one explanation for this. It's that the New York Knicks must know, have already spoken to, have already essentially got a document signed that says Kevin Durant is coming to New York, because I can't see any other reason that you make a move like this.
And then Eddie said, exactly. Warriors fans are like, don't you let that deal go down. No. I mean, everybody's got Durant. So, listen, the Westgate provided these hypothetical odds for us because, listen, we hypothetically like to bet. The Warriors are a 1-2 favorite to retain Durant services. But you see the Knicks at 9-2. Bobby Marks with more on how the Knicks make this happen.
What does $71 million get you? In New York, we're going to find out pretty soon this summer when July 1st. The cap-clearing move to send Kristaps Porzingis to Dallas has now created $71 million in cap space. What can that get you? Possibly Kevin Durant at $38 million. You still have $34 million. Durant can say, I want to play with Kyrie Irving. You can put Irving in there. You can slide him in there. And there is your summer of 2019. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. The Knicks essentially will walk into their July 1st meeting and say, pick a teammate. Who do you want to come play with? And these two would fit in perfectly.
Bartender, give me a double shot of the NBA Friday. And how about this? Thank you, Mr. Schedule Maker. This fits right into our narrative. Kyrie Irving, currently with the Celtics, heading to New York to take on the Knicks. And then Jokic, whose nickname we found out is Big Honey.
Yeah,
you see how embarrassed he was? Oh, man. Oh, no. Big Honey. They trying to stop Big Money, the Rockets and James Harden. Our coverage begins NBA Countdown, 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
76ers snapped the Warriors' 11-game win streak despite 41 and 10 triples from Steph Curry. I'll show you how they did it. Klay Thompson out with an illness. So Curry had to do the splashing all by himself. The 10 triples came on 18 attempts. And again, 41 points for him, but the rest of the team struggled. Kevin Durant, 1 for 8 from way out there. He had 25 points. Draymond Green's three-point struggles continued. He was 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. And Quinn Cook, 0 for 3 from deep off the bench. As the team, excluding Curry, the Warriors went 1 for 20 from 3. Is that bad?
It's not good.
No. Warriors' first loss when Curry hits 10 or more threes since February 27th, 2013 against the Knicks. Strong performance from Philly. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons with 26 apiece. We got Tim Legler out of the lab, but he's still dropping science on what we saw from the 76ers in Oakland. Tim, when you looked at that game and that win by Philly, what jumped out at you?
Yeah, Stan, some nights it's not pretty with Philly, but the one thing at the end of the day, they've got 2 guys that can just overwhelm you athletically. And that's what happened in this one, particularly with Ben Simmons. This might have been the best game I have seen Ben Simmons play as a professional. He's had better stat lines. He hasn't had games where he has controlled the action the way that he did in this one. He played with an incredible amount of poise. We know about the playmaking. I thought his finishing was exceptional tonight when he got to the rim. Sometimes he's reluctant to go because of some of his free throw issues. That wasn't the case in this game. And then the defense as well. The fact that he can jump out, he can make switches onto the elite perimeter players in the game, but he can also guard post players. You saw the big block late on a second effort on Steph Curry. I just thought Ben Simmons was sensational in this game. Joel Embiid struggled with some sloppiness with the basketball, but he had a great stat line. But this game for me was about Ben Simmons. Very impressive to go out there and win one of the toughest places in the league to get one. This should be a huge confidence builder for the Sixers and let people know they are a legit title contender this year.
Yeah, Simmons brought clean energy. He was efficient, 26 points on just 13 shots. Meanwhile, LeBron James makes the engine go for the Lakers. What did you see from him in his return?
You know, I didn't see the normal amount of force or energy out of LeBron, and I guess he's probably just not quite in game shape. So he picked his spots a little bit in this one. The one thing that stood out to me immediately, though, now that the Lakers have an identity offensively, when he was out, and then particularly when Lonzo Ball then went out after that, they just didn't have any direction with their offense. So I thought his playmaking, being a focal point of where to initiate your offense, that gives you organization, and it allows guys to stay in their lane and just be much more efficient players playing off of a great player. And that's what LeBron really brought to the table tonight. He came through with a huge shot late in the game, but I thought for the most part, it was just stability for the Lakers offense. When you have a guy, you put the ball in his hands, and now everybody knows how to play off of him because he's going to make sure you get a quality possession. Order has been restored to the Lakers offense, and they needed it desperately to stop that slide. And more importantly, against the Clippers to prevent now falling 3 games behind them as they battle for that last playoff spot.
Yep, all that time off, and he nearly comes back with a triple-double. Tim, we appreciate the time and the information.
Thank you, Stan.
Welcome back. LeBron James, a good sight for Laker fans. The Lakers win in overtime. Dave McMiniman joins us after the break.